Hello, Blocky Adventurers, and welcome back to the Better Minecraft Survival series. Today, as promised, we are going to risk a little bit. And what we will do is we're going to go inspect this spider crypt down here. I'm scared, but I'm excited. Maybe we can find some good loot. And maybe not. But let's have a look. Firstly, we can collect some of these strings. String is useful. We can make bows with it. We can make fishing rods with it. We can do plenty of other things with it. We can even combine it to make wool, if I remember correctly. So let's see what is down here in the spider crypt. There's a few spiders looking at us. But let's... Oh my word, no. This is cave spiders. I thought it would be normal spiders. Oh my word, this is not going to be fun. But let's have a go at it and see. Keep spawning. I'm sure there must be a spawner down there somewhere, but I can't really see, and I don't want to open too much more because that will allow the spiders to come through, and that wouldn't be safe. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. No. I think this was a bad idea. No, let's get him. Oh, no, how could I? This was a very bad idea. Oh, no, man. Let's just get our... Fortunately, we've got this gravestone mod in here, so we can get all our items back. I know it might seem a little bit cheaty, but... It's part of the mod pack, and I am very, very appreciative of that. But I think let's get out of here for now. We'll come back here sometime soon, but I need to rethink this. I don't know what I was thinking, taking on that crypt with no armor. Only my iron boots. Really not a very smart idea, if I have to admit it myself. But anybody that knows anything about fishing will know that a day or two of fishing will just brighten everything up. So let's go. I'm feeling much better now, thank you very much. Just have a look at all this loot that I got from fishing. Whole variety of different fish and this birch crate. To open that up to see what's inside, break with an axe to open. Also got a bottle of water and a tripwire hook and this unbreaking 3 bow. Wonderful. But the point of the exercise was to make me feel better, and that was successful. Now, let's see if we can open this crate and see what goodies is inside. Where's my axe? Let me get the axe, and boom. What pair of boots. Only a pair of iron boots, the one piece of armor that I've already got, and that is what's in the crate. That is sort of disappointing, but let me go and put away all this loot and see what we can do next. I went ahead and cooked some fish, collected the fish, and ate some fish before going ahead to make a hoe so that we can harvest some of the crops that's already started growing. The wheat has been growing very nicely. As you can see, we've got plenty of it ready to harvest. Carrots have also been coming along, as well as the potatoes. Beetroot also, even though beetroot isn't as useful, and we got some onions and tomatoes. So after harvesting, I went ahead to plant some more crops. And at the end of the day, I went to cook some potatoes, as I think baked potatoes is probably the best food we've got access to right at this moment. I put 8 in each furnace with 1 piece of coal, and then I fought a creeper early in the next morning. I went back to collect the cooked potatoes, and here we are, ready to take on the crypt again. I believe we are better suited now, since I did place a torch. Hopefully if there's a spawner, the spiders would have stopped spawning by now. The light level being a little bit better, I think. So let's go in there and see if we can figure this out and survive this time. So let's have a little look-see down here. So the nest seems clear. I don't see any spiders at the moment. If nothing else, I guess we would come away from this with a lot of wool and a lot of string. But let's see if we can find the spawner. And there you go. I knew there must have been a spawner in here. But now that we've located the spawner, let me go back down and see if we can clear up this area. So if we break back in here where we died the last time, let's see if we can get down without meeting any more spiders. I think now that we have lit up this area, this is going to be very, very easy. I think we can collect a lot of string here, but let's try and explore first and see where all these little side hallways are going. Without all the spiders, this doesn't feel scary at all, and I'm able to collect a lot of string and a lot of wool. And we are getting wool without having to kill any sheep. How awesome is that? I soon got bored of collecting string and wool and decided to have a look at what this passage to the left might have to offer. Loads of cobwebs which I had to break because getting stuck in cobwebs can just be very annoying. I collected a piece of gravel along the way, and this seems to run into a dead end. I dug out a little bit of the cobble to see if there's anything further along, but the answer was negative, and I returned to the main cavern. Then we took this passageway on the other side. I broke more string and made sure the way out is going to be easy if I need to run, lighting it up all the way as I went. And this one also seemed to run into a dead end until I broke some of the cobblestone and I saw there's another cavern in there with spiders. At least these weren't cave spiders and they were easy to deal with. By this time I imagined that it must be getting dark outside already, and I wanted to return to the tavern so that I can make either a bed or a sleeping bag. And when we got to the top, I saw the most amazing night sky. With yellows and pinks in the sky, it just blew my breath away. And on the way back to the tavern, I met up with some fireflies, brightening up the surrounding areas. But it was time to get running back to the tavern. I needed to sleep. And early in the next morning, I made a sleeping bag. Now we wouldn't need to run back to the tavern all the time to sleep. We would just be able to drop down and sleep wherever we are. By making the sleeping bag, we completed a quest in the quest book. And when I checked what we got as a reward, we found some leather. I placed a chest or two outside the crypt so that we could keep track of all the loot that we get from exploring this crypt. And then I decided to return to the passage that we lit up the previous night. I started breaking the wool and found another spawner, this one being a normal spider spawner, and I thought maybe we can leave it here and we can maybe do something with it later on. But I'm going to collect all the wool. Wool is going to be a useful resource for us at this point of the game, especially if we're trying to not kill any sheep. While we don't have iron to make shears yet, we can't shear the sheep, so the only other way to get wool would be to kill the sheep, and I wasn't up to that for now. I returned back to the main cavern so that we can explore deeper into the depths of this crypt. I broke down into this dark hallway and cautiously proceeded because I didn't want to get surprised by any more spiders, and with all the cobwebs around, I was sure more spiders would be lurking somewhere in the dark corners. And there you have it, there's more spiders. Now I need to find a way to get down there, which I would assume to be the main part of the crypt. I cautiously started digging around, trying to find the top of this spider nest. I've learned my lesson before, and I'm not going to be playing around with these spiders this time. I'm going to try and find the top of the nest and then find the spawner that way. Maybe that will help us to eliminate the spiders. And just as I dug out another block of andesite, I found what looked like to be the top of the spider nest. I immediately placed the torch to try lighting it up and started breaking down the wool. 3 blocks in, and I still haven't found a spawner. But I had to get down there. So I got my dirt and started building a stairway down on top of the nest. Looking around and keeping an eye out for any spiders that might be coming my way. I can see them moving around down there. I cautiously dug down a little bit further. I cleared out more cobwebs so that I can get down onto the nest without getting tangled up, and I saw what looks like entrance to a mine shaft. That's going to be an interesting exploration for the near future, but we have to deal with this spider nest first. So I believe that we have enough light covering the spawner now, because I'm pretty sure there is another spawner in there, so that I could start cautiously digging a way down into the crypt, so that we can see if we can find the spawner from the bottom. But I have to be careful and keep an eye out for any spiders, because I don't want to get surprised and lose a life again. Carefully digging down, eventually we did have a spider come up to us and poison us. Another one came, and after dealing with him, we had a piece of fish and waited out the poison effect before going on. I finally got down low enough and found a few spiders stuck in the roof, which wouldn't have been too difficult to deal with. So I decided to just go and relieve them of their pain and suffering before they could give me any pain and suffering. Fortunately, they were stuck so deep they couldn't get to me, and I was easily able to deal with them. Next, we had a closer look at this mine shaft. It's really intriguing, and I was really curious to go and check it out, but I decided to just hang on. We will get to it, but I need to finish with the spider crypt first. Digging further down this passage, we found another spawner that was taken care of for us by the lava flowing over it. I then headed back up to the surface to notice that it is night time, and after having dinner with a piece of fish, I used my sleeping bag to sleep through the night. The next morning I collected some coal to make a few torches and continued exploring the spider crypt. Eventually I came up on another cavern with another spider nest, which I quickly lit up to make sure that no spiders are going to spawn. As we've gotten used to, there's usually a spawner inside these nests. When I started breaking down this nest, we quickly discovered that there is no spawner, but well, a chest. The loot inside the chest wasn't very exciting, but at least we got something for our hard work. Plenty of potions and an enchanted book, and some melon seeds, which would come in handy. We have cleared the crypt and it was time to make our way back out. On our way back, we discovered and collected a few resources. Firstly, there was a few pieces of iron that I could collect, and then we also found some copper, and we broke the spawners and got spawn fragments. Finally, we also found quite a bit of coal. This was really a nice and solid vein. And so we have survived the spider crypt that got us in the beginning, but eventually turned out to not be too bad. And we got quite a bit of loot, a lot of string, some coal and copper, as well as a few splash potions and some melon seeds. I went ahead to smelt the iron that we found and finally slept in our house for the first time. Now, while on the next morning I came back with some furniture to put in the house. I want to thank you for watching this episode, for joining me in this adventure while we took on the spider crypt. I want to ask you that if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and remember to subscribe to this channel if you would like to be kept up to date with new videos being uploaded. May your pickaxes forever be sharp, and happy days until we meet again.